Question number 451. A customer is using multiple AWS accounts with separate billing. How can the customer take advantage of volume discounts with minimal impact to AWS resources? Option A. Create one global AWS account and move all AWS resources to that account. Option B. Sign up for 3 years of reserved instance pricing upfront. Option C. Use the consolidated billing feature from AWS organizations. Or option D. Sign up for the AWS Enterprise Support Plan to get volume discounts. Correct option is option C. In order to take advantage of volume discounts with minimal impact to AWS resources, we can use consolidated billing feature from AWS organizations. Moving on, which Amazon EC2 pricing model offers the most significant discount when compared to on-demand instances? A partial upfront reserved instances for 1 year term, all upfront reserved instances for a 3 year term, all upfront reserved instances for a 1 year term, or no upfront reserved instances for 3 year term. Correct option is option B. All upfront reserved instances for a 3 year term will get a significant discount. Next question. Which AWS services should be used for read write of constantly changing data? Select two options: Amazon Glacier, Amazon RDS, AWS Snowball, Amazon Redshift, or Amazon EFS. Correct options are B and E: Amazon RDS and Amazon EFS. So, Amazon RDS and Amazon EFS should be used for read write of constantly changing data. Alright. Which AWS service allows users to identify the changes made to the resource over time? Amazon Inspector, AWS Config, AWS Service Catalog, or AWS IAM. Correct option is option B, AWS Config. AWS Config is a service that allows us to identify the changes made to the resources over time. Which benefits are included with the AWS Business Support Plan? Select two correct options: 24 by 7 assistant by way of live chat or a telephone call, support from a dedicated AWS technical account manager, an unlimited number of cases and contacts, 15-minute response time for production system interruption cases, or annual operational reviews with AWS solutions architects. So, what are the two benefits that are included with AWS Business Support Plan? Those are 24 by 7 assistant by way of live chat or a telephonic call, as well as an unlimited number of cases and contacts. Next question. Which of the following is an AWS managed domain name system DNS web service? Amazon Route 53, Amazon Neptune, Amazon SageMaker, or Amazon Lightsail? Correct option is option A, Amazon Route 53. Amazon Route 53 is an AWS managed domain name system web service. Next question. A user must meet compliance and software licensing requirements that state a workload must be hosted on a physical server. When Amazon EC2 instance pricing option will meet these requirements: dedicated instances, spot instances, reserved instances, or dedicated hosts. Correct option is option D, dedicated hosts. Which of the reserved instances pricing models can change the attributes of the RI as long as the exchange results in the creation of RIs of equal or greater value? Dedicated reserved instances, scheduled reserved instances, convertible reserved instances, or standard reserved instances? Correct answer is option C, convertible reserved instances. Alright. Which service is best for storing common database query results, which helps to alleviate database access load? Amazon Machine Learning, Amazon SQS, Amazon Elastic Cache, or Amazon EC2 Instance Store? Correct answer is option C, Amazon Elastic Cache. Moving on. When should a company consider using Amazon EC2 Spot instances? Select two correct options. For non-production applications, for stateful workloads, for applications that cannot have interruptions, for fault tolerant flexible applications, or option E for sensitive database applications. So, in which case Amazon EC2 Spot instances are a good option for non-production applications as well as for fault tolerant flexible applications. Which AWS tools assist with estimating costs? Select three correct options. Detailed billing report, cost allocation tags, AWS simple monthly calculator, AWS total cost of ownership calculator, or cost estimator. Three correct options are cost allocation tags, AWS simple monthly calculator, and AWS total cost of ownership calculator, TCO calculator. Next question. A company wants to focus on business activities instead of managing compute and capacity. Which AWS service can be used to automatically add or remove Amazon EC2 instances based on demand? Elastic Load Balancer, Amazon EC2 Autoscaling, Amazon Route 53, or Amazon CloudFront. So, option B, Amazon EC2 Autoscaling is the correct option. Using Amazon EC2 Autoscaling, you can automatically add or remove Amazon EC2 instances based on the demand. Alright. Which is the minimum AWS support plan that includes infrastructure event management without additional costs? Enterprise, business, developer, or basic. So, in order to get the infrastructure event management support, you need an enterprise plan. Option A. Access keys in AWS identity and access management are used to log in into AWS Management Console, make programmatical calls to AWS from AWS APIs, log in to Amazon EC2 instances, authenticate to AWS code commit repositories. Correct option is option B, make programmatical calls to AWS from AWS APIs. Moving on. Which AWS service can be used to query stored data sets directly from Amazon S3 using standard SQL? AWS Glue, AWS Data Pipeline, Amazon Cloud Search, or Amazon Athena? Correct option is option D, Amazon Athena. So Amazon Athena is an AWS service you can use to query stored data sets directly from Amazon S3 using standard SQL. How does AWS shorten the time to provision IT resources? It supplies an online IT ticketing platform for resource requests. It supports automatic code validation services. It provides the ability to programmatically provision existing resources. It automates the resource request process from a company's IT vendor list. Correct option is option C. It provides the ability to programmatically provision existing resources. Going on. Which AWS services can be used to gather information about AWS account activity? Select two correct options. Amazon CloudFront, AWS Cloud 9, AWS Cloud Trail, AWS Cloud SHM, Amazon CloudWatch. So, gather information about AWS activity. You can use AWS Cloud Trail and Amazon CloudWatch. Option C and option E. Alright. Which of the following are characteristics of Amazon S3? A global file system, an object store, a local file store, a network file system, or a durable storage system. So, two characteristics of Amazon S3 are an object store option B, as well as option E, a durable storage system. A user wants guidance on possible savings when migrating from on-premises to AWS. Which tool is suitable for this scenario? AWS budgets, Cost Explorer, AWS total cost of ownership calculator, or AWS well architected tool. So, when you need a guidance on possible savings when you are migrating from on premises to AWS, you can use AWS TCO calculator, that is total cost of ownership calculator. Next question. The use of what AWS feature or service allows companies to track and categorize spending on detailed level. Cost allocation tags, consolidated billing, AWS budgets, or AWS marketplace. Correct option is option A, cost allocation tags. Next question. Which of the following inspects AWS environments to find opportunities that can save money for users and also improve system performance? AWS Cost Explorer, AWS Trusted Advisor, Consolidated Billing, or Detailed Billing? Correct option is option B, AWS Trusted Advisor. Next question. Web servers running on Amazon EC2 access a legacy application running in a corporate data center. What term would describe this model? Cloud native, partner network, hybrid architecture, or infrastructure as a service. So it is called as a hybrid architecture. All right. What technology enables compute capacity to adjust as loads change? Load balancing, automatic failover, round robin, or auto scaling. Correct option is option D. It's called as an auto scaling. Which of the following is the correct relationship between regions, availability zones, and edge locations? Option A. Data centers contain regions. Regions contain availability zones. Availability zones contain edge locations. Or option D. Edge locations contain regions. So, true relationship is regions contain availability zones. Option B. Moving on. What approach to transcoding a large number of individual video files adheres to AWS architecture principles? Using many instances in parallel, using a single large instance during off-peak hours, using dedicated hardware, or option D, using a large GPU instance type. Correct option is option A. You can use many instances in parallel. Which AWS services can host a Microsoft SQL Server database? Amazon EC2, Amazon Relational Database Service, Amazon Aurora, Amazon Redshift, or Amazon S3? Correct options are Amazon EC2 and Amazon RDS. Both services can host a Microsoft SQL Server database. Moving on. The user is fully responsible for which action when running workloads on AWS? Patching the infrastructure components, maintaining the underlying infrastructure components, maintaining physical and environmental controls, or implementing controls to route application traffic. So, the user is fully responsible for implementing controls to route application traffic when running workloads on AWS. Option D is the right answer here. All right. Which AWS support plan includes a dedicated technical account manager? Developer, enterprise, business, or basic? So, enterprise AWS support plan includes a dedicated technical account manager, TAM. What time savings advantage is offered with the use of Amazon recognition? Amazon recognition provides automatic watermarking of images. It provides the ability to resize millions of images automatically. It provides automatic detection of objects appearing in pictures, or Amazon recognition uses Amazon Mechanical Turk to allow humans to bid on object detection jobs. Correct option is option C. Amazon recognition provides automatic detection of objects appearing in pictures. That's the main benefit. Which AWS service can be used to automatically scale an application up and down without making capacity planning decisions? Amazon Autoscaling, Amazon Redshift, AWS CloudTrail, or AWS Lambda. So the service is Amazon Autoscaling. So using Amazon Autoscaling service, we can automatically scale an application up or down without making capacity planning in advance. Next question. Amazon Relational Database Service, Amazon RDS, offers which of the following benefits over traditional database management? AWS manages the data stored in Amazon RDS tables. AWS manages the maintenance of the operating system. AWS automatically scales up instant types on demand. Or AWS manages the database type. So, what are the benefits of Amazon RDS? It's option B. AWS manages the maintenance of the operating system. Next question. A company's web application currently has light dependencies on underlying components. So, when one component fails, the entire web application fails. Applying which AWS cloud design principle will address the current design issue? Implementing elasticity, enabling the application to scale up or scale down as demand changes. Enabling several EC2 instances to run in parallel to achieve better performance. Focusing on decoupling components by isolating them and ensuring individual components can function when other components fails. Doubling EC2 computing resources to increase system fault tolerance. So here, when one application component stop working, entire web application fails. In order to fix it, we need to focus on decoupling components by isolating them and ensuring individual components can function when other components fails. That's why option C is the correct option here. Alright. A customer would like to design and build a new workload on AWS cloud but does not have the AWS related software technical expertise in-house. Which of the following AWS programs can a customer take advantage of to achieve that outcome? AWS Partner Network Technology Partners, AWS Marketplace, AWS Service Catalog, or AWS Partner Network Consulting Partners. Here, correct option is option D. You can take the advantage of AWS Partner Network Consulting Partners. Moving on. Which service stores objects, provides real-time access to those objects, and offers versioning and lifecycle capabilities? Amazon Glacier, AWS Storage Gateway, Amazon S3, or Amazon EBS? Correct option is Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3. Amazon S3 stores objects, provides real-time access to those objects, and offers versioning and lifecycle capabilities for those stored objects. Moving on. Distributing workloads across multiple availability zones supports which cloud architecture design principle? Implement automation, design for failure, design for agility, or implement elasticity. So, distributing workloads across multiple availability zones supports one of the architecture design principle. It's called design for failure. All right. Which service should a customer use to consolidate and centrally manage multiple AWS accounts? AWS IAM, AWS organizations, AWS schema conversion tool, or AWS config. So when you hear term consolidate and centrally manage multiple AWS accounts, correct answer is AWS organizations. Option B. How can a company reduce its total cost of ownership using AWS? By minimizing large capital expenditures, by having no responsibility for third party license costs, by having no operational expenditures, by having AWS managed applications. So what's the main benefit of using AWS? You can minimize large capital expenditures, and that's a way to reduce its total cost of ownership. Next question. Which options does AWS make available for customers who want to learn about security in the cloud in an instructor-led setting? Two correct options: AWS Trusted Advisor, AWS Online Tech Talks, AWS Blog, AWS Forums, or AWS Classroom Training. Two correct options are AWS Online Tech Talks and AWS Classroom Training. Option B and option E. Which of the following will enhance the security of access to the AWS Management Console? AWS Secrets Manager, AWS Certificate Manager, AWS Multi-Factor Authentication, AWS MFA, Security Groups, Password Policies. So, two correct options are AWS MFA and Password Policies. So, using AWS MFA and Password Policies, you can enhance the security of access to the AWS Management Console. Alright. Which of the following features can be configured through the Amazon Virtual Private Cloud Amazon VPC dashboard? Amazon CloudFront distributions, Amazon Route 53, security groups, subnets, elastic load balancing. So, two correct features are security groups and subnets. So, using security groups and subnets, you can configure the Amazon Virtual Private Cloud Amazon VPC dashboard. Which of the following are advantages of AWS consolidated billing? Choose two options. The ability to receive one bill for multiple accounts, service limit increasing by default in all accounts, a fixed discount on the monthly bill, potential volume discounts as usage in all accounts is combined, or the automatic extension of the master accounts AWS support plan to all accounts. So, what are the two main advantages of using AWS consolidated billing? Are the ability to receive one bill for multiple accounts as well as potential volume discounts as usage in all accounts is combined. Option A and option D. Which of the following common IT tasks can AWS cover to free up company IT resources? Patching database software, testing application releases, backing up databases, creating database schema, or running penetration tests. So, two options are patching databases software as well as backing up databases. So, these are the common IT tasks that AWS can cover up to free our company resources. Next question. A company wants to expand from one AWS region into a second AWS region. What does the company need to do? Start supporting the new region. Contact an AWS account manager to sign a new contract. Move an availability zone to the new region. Begin deploy resources in the second region. Download the AWS management console for the new region. So what you need to do? You don't have to worry much. You just have to start deploying resources in the second region. Option C. Why it is beneficial to use elastic load balancers with applications? So what is the main advantage of elastic load balancers? They allow for the conversion from application load balancers to classic load balancers. They are capable of handling constant changes in network traffic patterns. They automatically adjust capacity. They are provided at no charge to users. So, the main benefit of elastic load balancers are they are capable of handling constant changes in traffic patterns. Next question. Which is the minimum AWS support plan that allows for 1 hour target response time for support cases? Enterprise, business, developer, basic. Correct option is option B, business. So you need a business support plan that will allow you 1 hour target response time for support cases. What is the lowest cost durable storage option for retaining database backups for immediate retrieval? Amazon S3, Amazon Glacier, Amazon EBS, Amazon EC2 Instance Store. So here requirement is lowest cost, durable storage option that can retain database backups for immediate retrieval. So in this case, the correct option is option A, Amazon S3. Next question. What AWS team assists customers with accelerating cloud adoption through paid engagements in any of several specialty practice areas? AWS Enterprise Support, AWS Solutions Architects, AWS Professional Services, or AWS Account Managers. In this case, we will get the help from AWS Professional Services. A company needs 24 by 7 phone, email, and chat access with a response time of less than 1 hour. If a production system has a service interruption, which AWS support plan meets this requirement at the lowest cost? Basic, developer, enterprise, or business. So here we need support in less than 1 hour, and that's why we need business support plan. Option D. Next question. If a customer needs to audit the change management of AWS resources, which of the following AWS service should the customer use? AWS Config, AWS Trusted Advisor, Amazon CloudWatch, or Amazon Inspector. So here correct service name is AWS Config. Option A. Question number 500. How does AWS Trusted Advisor provide guidance to users of the AWS cloud? Select two correct options. It identifies software vulnerabilities in applications running on AWS. It provides a list of cost optimization recommendations based on current AWS usage. It detects potential security vulnerabilities caused by permission settings on account resources. It automatically corrects potential security issues caused by permissions settings on account resources. It provides proactive alerting when an Amazon EC2 instance has been compromised. So, what is the main benefit of using Amazon Trusted Advisor? Two correct options are option B and C. It provides a list of cost optimization recommendations based on current AWS usage, as well as it detects potential security vulnerabilities caused by permission settings on account resources.